All right, so we're trying again now. I am back in the room and I am talking and I'm waiting to see if there's anyone coming into the room. And then I will be asking the question if you can hear me now. If you can't hear me now, then we'll have to start again because I don't want to keep talking if you can't hear me properly. Audio is good. Yay! All right, so let's move forward with this momentarily. Thank you, CR. Okay, so let's see. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're finding something of value here. I truly do. It's my birthday today. But we are still well within the birthday zone, so you know. Man, went to birthday brunch yesterday. I ate so much bacon. Are you sure the audio is good, Craig? All right, so give me just a minute and we'll get some people in here and we'll have a discussion about whatever we're going to talk about, which seems like it's supposed to be. I know what to do. I know what to do. Let's see, just a minute. I'm working on it. Hold on. Here we go. Let's see what we're doing. When we're doing stuff, we need to do this. Let's see. Let's see. Live show now. Let's see, add a video. Not that one. Not that one. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Wow, that's weird. Let's just say add image. All right, so now that's not working. All right, so we have anybody in here? There's no one in here. I can't even talk to anybody. Hey, everybody, how's it going? My name is Mike. This is my YouTube page. How are you today? So I keep seeing all this important information about the Russians meddling in the 2016 election. You guys hear about that? How horrible is that? The Russians meddled in our election in 2016. And I'm thinking, you know, doesn't it seem like that's exactly what Donald Trump is doing with the Israeli election, right? Doing this whole, oh, we're recognizing the Golan Heights for Israel now, you know, right when, you know, Benjamin Netanyahu looks like he might be voted out of office, right? So, you know, I'm thinking, you know, this is just like a gift to Netanyahu. You know, this is like right before the election, right? You know, it's like if the Palestinians was to start firing rockets in from Gaza into Israel right before the election. How would that make any sense? If they hated Netanyahu, how would that make any sense? They would never do something like that. Oh, wait, that just happened? Oh, that doesn't make any sense, does it? Okay, so what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, right. Donald Trump meddling in the Israeli election, because I'm pretty sure that that's what's going on. I don't know what you guys think about this, but as far as I can tell, Donald Trump has decided that audio is good. Thank you. I'm glad to hear you are good too. No collusion. What about collusion in the Israeli election? Because it looks like to me like Donald Trump is conspiring with Netanyahu, I'm pretty sure, in the Israeli election. Don't you think? Hello, caller. How are you today?
I am doing great, Michael. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks very much for calling. Who is this?
Mom. This is Matt, longtime fan, longtime listener.
Thanks. Nice to hear, Matt. That's my brother's name. Are you?
I know this.
Oh, right on. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from frickin' Wichita, Kansas.
No shit. And what is the weather? What is the weather like in Wichita today, Matt?
Well, the weather is. It's been springtime weather. Okay, so I don't think that we can rely on the freaking beaver or the whatever it is.
Oh,
you know, that
Punxsutawney Phil, Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Whatever that animal is, you know.
Well, I think it seems a little medieval, honestly.
Well, you know, like, it's kind of sad. You know, I think like this is the year that the people understand that we cannot rely on a rodent to predict the weather.
Okay. Well, and I think anyone who does is kind of, misguided at the very least.
Well, you know, if you look at what's going on in the world today, I think that movie is still pretty relevant.
Oh,
very popular.
Great movie.
They run it on all the free cable networks.
It's a great movie. I've watched that movie many times. It's really a really good movie.
Pretty great.
Yeah,
it's pretty great. But I think people don't really get it. They just are like, oh my god, this is just the life that I'm living each day. And so I think if we took a look at why they made that movie, maybe we could understand that we are just repeating history on a constant daily basis. You know, is that like, I mean, they do it so well.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you. I keep saying, nobody's talking about, moving the human race into the 21st century. I keep bringing that up over and over again. And it seems like they really want us stuck in the 1950s,
Well, I don't even know anything, Michael. I really just don't even know. I don't know.
Have you been paying attention to this thing with the Golan Heights and Donald Trump today signing a presidential proclamation about the Golan Heights belongs to Israel?
Michael.
Yes.
What I have been looking into is that they are trying to say some stuff about Israel, and Israel is this and Israel is that. And then there's other countries out there in the world that exist in this floating rock in the middle of the universe. Michael,
it's not
Israel.
It's not the middle of the universe.
It's not something that is really relevant. So if we need to recognize Israel as some kind of a positive thing in the world for their mankind, then so be it. Let's do it. Let's if you're going to slaughter all of your humans, do it. Fine. Whatever. We're not going to send, tons of people from our country over there to get slaughtered with you. This is a giant floating rock in the middle of the universe. So why can't we all just get along? And then those folks that live on an island and you got a Christian dude jumps in a boat and he floats over there and they fucking shoot him with a bow and arrow and shit. that's the type of mentality that we should understand. Okay, so like this is a giant freaking rock that is actually like microscopical in the middle of the universe. Let's just all chill the fuck out for a minute and then think about like how we can just get along. And man, you used to have like this giant like elephant freaking thing in the back of your the behind you. You had this like elephant poster thing. I don't even know what that was, but I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it's got pretty colors, huh?
Well, and we changed it up a bit.
Well, this is my Gorilla Grow Tent. Thanks very much to the guy at Gorilla Grow Tent. So I could start growing garden, but I found that I can't grow a garden in my office because multiple reasons, but mostly it's because the noise, there's like this constant, there's fans in the garden, and it's like constant, and it's like living in the Eraserhead soundtrack. So I can't really do that. And then there's bugs too, and the bugs just make me crazy. So I'm in the process of moving the tent out of the way, and we'll put something else back there in the background for the future, in the very near future. Yeah.
Hey, how's your mother doing?
My mom's dead.
Michael, it's been a long time since I listened to your stuff, but I always went to Mox News because, and I'm not even online, I'm on my cell phone. I was like looking through YouTube, and it was like Mox News is on live.
Right on.
Tonight. And you know what? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna call this motherfucker because he's the shit. And this dude's been online for years, dedicated. They took down his channel one time of like, I don't know how many or whatever it is. I don't even fucking Michael doesn't even care either.
It's been a long, rough road, man.
Well, Michael, like the one question I ever wanted to ask you, because I believe that you were like an unbiased individual, and I believe that you are an unbiased individual, but like, are you a liberal? I think that's the like one thing that people want to know out there in the world that ever subscribe to your channel.
I'm liberal. I'm liberal like Jesus and like Benjamin Franklin and these guys who didn't take shit off of nobody. Okay, I'm liberal like that. Let's put it this way. I am a Second Amendment supporting Medicare for all or universal health care, whatever, loving, we have to move, like you're saying, we have to move beyond these labels. You just said these labels are like keeping us apart. I keep bringing this up. The liberal, I love the Second Amendment. I love the Constitution. I love all the amendments. Okay. I'm a freedom guy. That's really all I care about is your freedom, my freedom, everyone's freedom everywhere. That's why I don't try and publish videos for the left. And I don't try and publish videos for the right, because I see, when I look at the APAC, which is going on today, I see that it's not, it's not that it's the left or the right. They work together to bring us here to this place where we're at right now. And we need to recognize both of them as the enemy. Go ahead.
Michael, I have a really good question for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you sure you want to hear it? Because you kind of interrupted me on the last question. I'm not sure you want to hear the answer. Go ahead.
No, like legit, I have a really seriously good question that I have held in for a very long time.
Okay.
That I can't even ask anybody that's intelligent to answer this question.
Go ahead.
And you will think, and you will never forget this question. And I promise you. Okay. So they, back in like, was it 2011? They were saying that Ron Paul was too old to be president of the United States.
Sure.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now they want like Joe Biden to be president of the United States. Like, yeah, this guy's freaking just like, he is physically fit. He's just like riding bikes, just like rubbing on children's heads all day long. Yeah. Okay, so Michael.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? That is what I'm saying is what is going on. This is why, okay, ladies and gentlemen out there in the world watching Mock News, which is totally legit, who has been posting videos like this forever of like, okay, I'm Joe Biden. I'm just going to rub all over your daughter's head. I'm going to fucking, like, yeah, just like, don't date till you're 30. That is the greatest thing in the world. I should be president of the United States. Okay, so I think, why isn't it that like yeah, because Michael, I voted for Ron Paul. Okay, so these motherfuckers going to say that Ron Paul wasn't a legit candidate because he is way too old. Way too old. But
But that's not the only reason he wasn't legitimate. He wasn't a real Republican also. That's also why he wasn't legitimate.
Oh, gosh dang it. Gosh dang it. Neither was Donald Trump.
Right. And Tulsi Gabbard is not a real Democrat. You know,
I mean, I'm just telling you, I love Donald Trump. I think that motherfucker is just hilarious as fuck, and he is just like, you know what? I became president of the motherfucking United States of America, and you know what? I may have done some dumbass shit in my life, and you know what? People were saying that Ron Paul is too old to be president. Hell no, I'm going to become president of the United States.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you motherfuckers that I give a shit. And even if it's some bullshit, it's always been a bunch of bullshit. Okay? Because you got all these people out there that are like, you know what, this isn't affecting my life. You know what? And you know what, Michael, I still don't have a YouTube channel, and I still do not and never have had a Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck Twitter is.
Yeah.
Michael. I mean,
well, look, those things are irrelevant, honestly. I think that Twitter and Facebook are honestly meaningless distractions that just keep you from actually, you know, enjoying your life. It's this weird bragging thing that goes on, and they keep associating selfies and constant social media with some kind of mental disorder. So I honestly think that it's not very healthy to be focusing on those things a whole lot. You know, I basically never Facebook. I wouldn't even have one if it wasn't for my roommate who insists I gotta have fucking Facebook. You know, and the only reason I tweet is because it's easy to tweet. Now all I do is tweet the videos that I fucking post. I don't tweet, you know, this is my opinion, that's my opinion. I've done my best to try and not do that. You know, I'm trying just to like share, you know, moments in history. This is what happened today, and it may be important to you, it may not, but it happened. And if you want to, if you have anything to say about it, you know, now's your chance. Go ahead.
Okay, well, what I think, Michael, is what you said a long time ago. What is it? The word that it is. It is, goddamn, because I've watched your channel for a long time because I liked it. And then all of a sudden your ass started showing your face. But what is it called? It's this word. It's like you said, this is an architectural, no, it's not an architectural, it's not an archaeological. This is
archive?
It's an archive. That is what this channel has always been. It's an archive. And I thought that that was the coolest thing and the reason why you showed your face on the channel. You were like, you know what? I am like, they are doing copyright strikes against me, which my channel is like minuscule in the world. Okay, like literally you're going to like censor me for free speech. These motherfuckers are, this is what they're saying. This is all on record.
I covered the 2008 election.
Like, why can't I get this out to human beings in the world? They were fucking talking about it recently on all kinds of shit. I don't even care how long they've been talking about it. They've been talking about it. It's like, oh my God, Americans, they work so hard and they do this and they can only have so much time for news. And like Michael over here at fucking Mox News is legitly laying it down, archiving what you can hear. He's not creating clickbait. He's saying, boom, here is the boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, this is what's happening. You know, I like to call it a never-ending stream of bits of knowledge. That's what I like to call it.
Yeah, well, that is super cool too.
Yeah.
And you know what? You made me want to listen to motherfucking C-SPAN. And I used to watch C-SPAN on a daily basis. And one of the reasons why I wanted to watch C-SPAN is because it's live. It's like live in the world.
It doesn't have all those commercials in it, you know, and it's not all of like all this opinion. Everything on the news, on the mainstream media is opinion. And it's this asshole's opinion and this asshole's opinion. And that's why I haven't wanted to add this asshole's opinion, you know, for years and years and years. I tried to avoid it because there's so many of those assholes out there, and they just, you know, they're like, no, you got to think this way, otherwise you're stupid. Or no, you got to think this way, otherwise, you know, you're just a sheep and you just, you know, parroting what people say, you know, and it's like, no, you have to think for yourselves. And here's what happened today. Figure it out, you know.
Oh, shit.
Hey, man, I want to give other people a chance to call. It's really good to hear from you, bro.
All right, cool, dude.
Thanks so much for calling.
I'm going to turn on my... All right, later.
All right, well, I hope I hear back from you again in the future.
All right, cool.
Stay cool. So, and that's the deal, you know, is that you guys, I mean, this guy, he clearly has been listening for a long, long time. And it's just nice to, you're going to have to turn down your phone. It's just nice to connect with the guys, with everyone, especially the people who've been watching forever. And, you know, I mean, you can hear in his voice, he really feels like Mox News has made some kind of difference in his life, you know, and it's nice to hear that because because it's a thankless job. Go ahead, caller. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I'm calling from Florida, but I just came across your channel. I had subscribed to you, so I've obviously have seen some of your videos before. But I was curious as to what exactly is your interpretation of Trump's dealings with Israel?
It's clear to me that at this moment that Trump is meddling in the Israel election with this Golan Heights stuff and you know, the whole, you know, there's some you know, the Jerusalem, all this stuff is just like, you know, he is. I posted a video the other day, and the title was "Trump wants to go down in history as the most pro-Israel president in American history," and I see that that's what's happening. So that's what I see. If that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way in a sense. Now, let me try to get you to understand me for just a second.
Sure, go ahead.
I completely support President Trump in everything that he's done up to this point. I was very happy to see the Mueller report, completed. I like the guy. I've been to every rally that he's had here in Northwest Florida.
Right on.
And I will continue to go. But I don't know enough about Israel to, be a strong supporter.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I always seem that they try to throw in is the Holocaust and the Jews and all this other stuff. Now, I don't support any of that kind of crap. That's totally out the door. But I do know that there was some stuff with 9/11 that seemed like it had an Israel like a backstory to it. I'm not sure exactly. I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
No, I hear you. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't trust Israel maybe a little bit more than I would like the Muslims, only because of what I have seen on television. I don't know anyone personally.
Yeah.
But I don't trust them because I've seen what the news shows. And anyone that actually supports that religion, if they're not condemning the radicals, then I don't support those people either. They're not a religion of peace, not the total religion. I don't know. I don't know much about Israel. In my take, I was just really curious as to what you were thinking. Is that a bad thing, do you think, that Trump is supporting Israel?
Well,
bad for us to have. That's like the only diplomatic or a democratic country in the whole Middle East. They're the only ones that are not, within Sharia law.
No. That's not true. That's not true. The Turkey is a democracy. And Jordan, I mean, they have a monarchy, but I'm pretty sure that they vote and stuff. And I'm pretty sure that Iran is a democracy. Because they vote every few years, they vote on who they want their leaders to be. So I think what's happening is that the mainstream media just portrays, like, they say stuff, and these Israel supporters say stuff like Israel is the only democracy, they're our only friend in the Middle East. And that's just not true. I mean, why are we sending all these people all this money if they're not our friends, Why do we care about these people so much if they're not our friends? It's really the Israeli thing is, and I think one of the big mistakes is to boil it down to religion, because this is one of the main ways that they separate us, and we have to move beyond. Those people are entitled to their religion just the way you're entitled to your religion. You have to agree with that, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, so you can't hold their religion against them any more than they should hold your religion against you. That's your faith, and you're entitled to your own faith, and anyone who wants to tell you differently is a dictator. I mean, they don't. But again, and the thing about it is Syria. Right? They keep saying, oh, Syria is like a Islamic state, a Muslim country, but for generations, whenever the Christians in the area would have problems, if they were in Iraq and all of a sudden there was a persecution of Christians, or if they were in Lebanon or wherever they were at, if they had problems, they would run to Syria and they would be protected there. So, Christians were protected. You saw, I don't know if you saw in the news, but there was like this really old... Yeah, absolutely. And there was this really old community that had to flee, and they were all like a Christian community, and it had like the Virgin Mary at the big old temple and stuff. Trust me when I say Christianity is all over that area. So I mean, it's important to know that.
Yeah. Well, I have heard. I heard that Assad was actually protecting Christians in Syria.
Yeah, absolutely.
The media here has really kept me stupid because I don't know who to believe. I watch various, TV channels. mainly my main news now has been coming from YouTube, and I've come across various people, but no one really talks about that much about the Middle East. My concentration over the last 3 years since Trump got elected, 2.5 years, has been this corruption within our government.
Yeah, our government's horrible. Our government's horrible.
Oh, yeah. It's been that way for a long time. I mean, I didn't really wake up to politics until Obama's second year in office.
Sure.
That's when I started to realize, wait a minute, something's screwed up in D.C. I need to start paying attention. I held my nose. I voted for Mitt Romney. This guy makes me sick.
Yeah.
I voted for him just because we didn't have anybody else to vote for.
Yeah.
When
I think a lot of people did that with Donald Trump too. I really do. And Hillary Clinton, because they couldn't stand the choice. Because it just boils down to this. This is the way I see it. And when it comes to these choices, it boils down to, giant douche or turd sandwich. Just like the South Park said. Yeah, giant douche or turd. It's always going to be that. And if we recognize that, if we're able to recognize that, then it's understandable why someone would choose a giant douche. Instead of holding it against them, you go, well, of course they didn't want to vote for turd sandwich. No one wants a turd sandwich. You know what I'm saying? So of course they voted for the giant douche. So you have to recognize it in this way and then not hold it against the other people who vote that way. But you also have to recognize that that is a giant douche. And just because you couldn't vote for turd sandwich and you had to vote for somebody and you picked a giant douche doesn't make him less of a giant douche. He's a fucking giant douche. And we need to hold him accountable like a fucking giant douche that he is. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha. I think his record speaks pretty clear for himself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's not been reported in the news, not on any kind of mainstream news.
Tons of stuff.
That tonight that they held up the Obamacare, that it's unconstitutional, and they have dropped that. The Justice Department has held that up. So Obamacare has been ruled unconstitutional.
Well, yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, of course it is.
Anything that has to do with that guy's name needs to be gone, erased from our history.
And remember that it was John Roberts, a conservative Supreme Court justice put in there by a Republican, who changed his vote on Obamacare to say that it was constitutional. So it's not the Republicans and it's not the Democrats. It's both of them working together to bring us to where we are now.
Yeah, I agree with that completely, 100%. I don't claim to be anything. I'm independent. I don't care for the Republicans. I'm a Trumpist.
Yeah, sure.
He's a realist. He tells you how it is. I don't believe that there's a dishonest bone in the man's body. You can tell that from his tweets. A lot of people don't agree. But I'm a big time Trump fan, always have been. I've liked the guy throughout the 80s when I was a kid. I used to see him on television all the time.
Yeah. No, I told you, I've been covering him on YouTube for 15 years now, and I was covering him before that for sure. I mean, he's been around a long time, and people are, do find him, interesting or attractive, charismatic, whatever, you know what I mean? They are certainly attracted to him.
Yeah, to me, he went up there, he kicked the doors down and said, look, this place has got to change. That's what I like about Trump. He disrupted the entire government. He put them all on call, on notice. That's the reason why we had such a big changeover of all those Republicans that are getting out of office. Was it like 35 of them are dropping out?
Yeah, I don't know that that's the reason, honestly. I think, when you see the rats jumping ship, you got to be nervous about what's going on with the ship,
Exactly. That's the reason why those rats are running. There's rhino rats, there's Democrats, Democrat rap. I mean, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. My mom found my voter card. I thought I had registered as a independent when I moved here to Florida back in '95. And I was ashamed. My mom found it just the other day. She said, Larry, I found your voter card from when you first moved here to Florida, and you registered as a Democrat. I said, oh, my God, did I? Now, I haven't voted Democrat. I don't know how I ended up being a Democrat. The only person I have to say I did vote for, I voted for Clinton. The first time around, I wanted to vote for Ross Perot, but I was actually active duty. And everyone that was around me, and I was stationed in California, was telling me that that would be a wasted vote.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Ross Perot, Bush would have served second term for sure. But anyway, I just was wanting to get your whole idea on Israel. And I appreciate you taking my phone call. And you are a strong man to have listened to that guy ramble for, I don't know. I was ready to like just give up because, you know, I just couldn't understand. It made no sense to me anyway. I couldn't follow him.
Well,
but you seem like an intelligent guy, and I enjoyed this talk with you. And you have a wonderful evening, sir.
All right. Well, thanks very much for calling. I hope that we hear back from you in future shows.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and that's where we're at. You know, I mean, it's I feel like I didn't answer his question on Israel and, you know, where's Israel at? I have issue with Israel because of the way that they have treated the Palestinians for a long, long time. Okay. And it's not just that they, you know, that they put a wall up around them and basically keep them in a prison. Is that they don't allow medicine in. They don't allow a whole bunch of things in. And then every time there's an election, we get this. Oh, the Palestinians are firing rockets at us from Gaza. And now they're going to go pound Gaza with 500-pound bombs. Okay. And it's you know what I mean? It's awfully convenient that this happens every election cycle for Netanyahu to be able to step up and prove what a man he is and how he's going to defend people by bombing the shit out of the poorest people on the fucking planet. Yeah, that makes so much sense. That's the kind of leader we need. We need a strong leader. We're under attack, for God's sake. We need strong leaders. We got to fight them over there so we don't have to fight them over here. And it's just amazing to me the way this Iron Dome thing that works so well time and time again through the last, you know, couple of years. And then all of a sudden we're at an election. Oh my, a missile made it through our Iron Dome. Oh, we got to have a strong leader. Where's Netanyahu? He's in America. Oh my God, what will we do? Get Netanyahu back here quick. And of course, you know, I think it's kind of amazing that it happened like the first day of AIPAC, so they can say again and again, oh, look, Israel's under attack. Israel's under attack from every direction, everywhere. Israel, we carry this persecution from us, from our history, from generations ago. Hello, caller. How are you today?
Not too bad. Yourself?
I'm good. Who's this?
Paul.
Hey, Paul. Nice to hear from you.
Nice to hear from you, or nice to be watching you as usual. I'm calling you all the way up from Killaloo, Canada.
Nice. I love Canada.
Yeah, it's a little cool up here still, but just wondering if you ever noticed that nobody ever seems to, from Israel or the United States, get even mentioned, except recently, about being charged with war crimes in any the events or skirmishes that they get into.
This is what I keep saying, Paul. I mean, this is what it has come back to. It's not the Republicans. It's not the Democrats. You know, Obama made all these war crimes. You know, and if we don't hold the war criminals accountable, then we just say that it's basically it's okay to do that. So if this guy did it and the next guy did it, then why the fuck can't I do it? I mean, there's such a thing as precedence, you know?
Well, exactly. And when the next person, when you know that the other person just got away with it, like, I mean, you're always open to do the one up more, like just to satisfy the next need, you know? And then, like, where does it stop? Like, you've got like possibly 1 million people dead now in Iraq.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been
being held accountable for that. Nobody.
Absolutely. I keep bringing up Iraq again and again and again. You know, my birthday is March 19th, and they started their shock and awe campaign on March 19th, 2003, and I take that real personal. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Something that you're going to remember every birthday.
Yeah, I do. And it's horrible. And because there's 1 million dead people, and it was done in my name with my tax dollars, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I take that personal.
And the entire world has been thrown into a turmoil ever since.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that had to have been part of the plan. Let's fill this country full of weapons and then walk away from them. Right?
How many times did Obama and Clinton just mistakenly turn around and be responsible for arming ISIS and Al Qaeda?
Yeah, I don't think that
got found in their area or got overrun.
Yeah, that was not it. That was not accidental at all. I mean, you know, I remember the first thing that happened in Libya was there was a storage locker with like 50,000 shoulder-launched missiles.
Yeah.
And it just was, oh, where'd all these shoulder-launched missiles go? Well, holy fucking shit! I mean,
they never even went looking for it.
Exactly, and they know exactly where it was at, and nobody bothered to step up and make sure. Oh, we better keep a drone on that place. You know what I mean? No, we'll just let them. We'll just let them fucking take the fucking shoulder launch missiles. We don't need those. We got plenty more. We need to actually. We got a whole warehouse full of them in Washington that we need to get out to Libya. So we need to empty out that warehouse. So.
And they'll choke you to death on the sidewalk for selling loose cigarettes.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, no, I mean, for me, that's the main thing is this whole, we have to hold the war criminals accountable, because otherwise, just to make the world a safe place for little children. Everybody's like, think of the children. We can't have legal cannabis. Think of the children, you know? And it's just a load of bullshit while they drop bombs all over fucking children. Oh, I care so much about infanticide. Somebody give Israel more bombs right away.
Yeah. And again, like, I mean, you're looking at Saudi Arabia. Like, the shit that they cause in the world and everything, and nobody ever holds them accountable for anything. They can sit there and turn around and kill a guy at an embassy, cut him up, ship him off FedEx back home kind of thing, and there's barely even a mention about it on the news.
They can fund 19 hijackers to take down the Twin Towers, apparently, and then we'll sell them $400 billion worth of weapons just a couple decades later.
Yeah. It's just, you know, I don't know. It's somebody that I was really hoping Trump was going to be doing something with the 9/11 thing. Like, I mean, he hinted at it and everything like that. And that's been disappointing the hell out of me.
You know, he's a huge Alex Jones fan too. You know, so he's got all this. You know, he knows all about 9/11 being nothing but fucking lies. You know, I hate it when the reporters come on one of these, you know, call-in shows, and the guy says, "What do you think about World Trade Center being imploded?" You know, all the evidence, and oh, really? I never heard anything about World Trade Center 7. What? And you're a journalist? Is that what you're trying to tell us? You know, I mean, so Trump knows all these stuff, you know, that we've all studied for the last fucking 2 decades. And I agree, you know, but I think that that's partially what the Mueller probe was about, was to have him hanging over Trump's head while he's new. While he's new, right. While he's new, while we figure him out, because he's like a new player. He's not one we've been dealing with forever. And we'll figure out, you know, we'll hang this over his head. And if anything, if he steps out of line, we'll fucking bust his children, you know? Yeah.
There's always misdirection. Look at this while we're doing this.
Right.
They're doing the same thing up here in Canada with this, our prime minister here. Yeah, just like a total fraud. And like, he's giving our country away right, left, and center.
Yeah, nobody seems to be very happy with that guy. I'm disappointed. You know, I mean, you gotta hope for, you know, something better than Harper, you know, and then this guy is just fucking, you know, everybody hates him, right?
Well, I know him from when I served him breakfast with Santa in Ottawa, and when he was a child. For a couple of years there, he actually spilled an entire fruit cocktail cup all over my pants and shoes or whatever. So I've got
Trudeau
way back, yeah. When I was a kid, I used to serve them. I was a waiter at their table.
Huh? Funny.
But yeah, I even tweeted that to him when he got elected. I said, you owe me a pair of shoes.
Nice. I love it. Right on.
Anyway, I really enjoy listening. Yeah, I'll let you I'll get off the air there so you can talk to some of your other fans.
Right on. Thank you.
Good end to you, man. All the best to you.
Okay.
I'll hopefully have a channel up here sometime soon, but I'll check in with you every night.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Nice to hear from you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And again, that's why we do this, you know, is because the Mox News has been around for so long, and we've reached and touched so many people around the world, you know. And when I say we, it's me and you guys, because that's the only we. I'm the only one here except for you guys. And you guys are part of what happens here. You guys, I've always said that, hey, Dwayne, that you are what makes Mox News important, because if it wasn't for you, there'd be absolutely no purpose in doing this. I mean, I would be sitting here talking to a camera and there'd be nobody listening, you know? So what would be the point in that? So it's you guys that, you know, make Mox News important. You guys give it value, and I, you know, I just keep trying to build this never-ending stream of bits of information that are of value to you and everybody else in the world. Not of value to Republicans, not of value to Democrats, liberals, conservative, all your stinking labels. You know, these labels are worthless. And if you identify as one of them, I beg you to do your best to move beyond that, because it is of no value to you. Okay, you are the big brain top of the food chain, and when you say, "Oh, I'm this right here," then you paint yourself into a corner that you can't move out of, because you're this. And that's not who you are. You're this amazing, you know, I can go this direction, I can go that direction, I can go straight up in the fucking air. Who the hell knows what I'm going to do? That's who the big brain, tippy top point of the food chain is. And that's who you are. You are the king of the jungle. You are meant to rule this planet. You are meant to walk tall, not in fear, not, you know, oh, how am I going to make this happen next month? Or I can't believe that asshole did that to me yesterday. Those things are meaningless. They're gone. You know, next month always works its way out. And if you worry about next month, then you're not enjoying what's right in front of you. And what matters is what's right in front of you. And if you're not dealing with what's right in front of you, you're not able to make anything happen ever, because you can't make things happen next month. You can only make them happen now in this moment. Did I mention it's a call-in show? And I was talking about Israel. I was talking about the election in Israel and how, and the thing is that I really want to say is, you know, all these members of Congress, all these politicians are just like, oh, we care about Israel so much. We care about Israel so much. Then if someone was meddling in Israel's election, it seems like that would matter, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like they say, oh, Israel's so important to us, and here's this person blatantly meddling in the Israeli election, right? With just a sec, caller, with the Golan Heights thing, right? You know, oh, right before the election, we're going to make this major proclamation about the Golan Heights, which Israel gets 2/3 of its water, drinking water from. So we're clear. 2/3 of its water, land that it doesn't not own. It does not own that territory. And now all of a sudden, President Trump, whoever the fuck, you know, insert the new boss, same as the old boss, saying that Israel now owns that piece of property. Go ahead, caller. Who is this?
This is Jeffrey out of freaking Missouri.
Hey, Jeffrey, how's freaking Missouri today?
Missouri's great.
Right on.
I tell you what, you know, we're getting ready to get on with spring.
Awesome.
And I tell you what, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I am just thinking, you know what? I don't really know exactly what's going on with this Israel thing, because I'm from America and I'm loving life. And I don't know if that is a bad thing.
No, that's a great thing, dude. That's exactly what I was just talking about when I was saying you can only be in the moment. And that's what it's all about, is experiencing the now. And it's like, that's how you are enjoying life. You can't do it tomorrow or next month. You can only do it in this moment. And it's really good to hear that you are enjoying it.
I mean, Michael, I enjoy life so amazingly. In this moment, it's actually a band. And there is a female vocalist. No shout out. I'm not shouting out the band or anything like that.
Okay.
For sure. Okay, there's definitely a way better female vocalist band called Arch Enemy, if you guys are really into metal. Okay.
But no shout out.
No shout out. But back into the Israel debate. Okay, folks, about Israel. You know what?
What?
I don't know anything about Israel. And I live in America. Is that really a bad thing? I don't really know.
Well, it seems like the government of Israel has an awful lot of influence over your government. So that might be important to know a little bit about Israel.
Please inform me and educate me about Israel tonight. And I just want you to slow down a little bit and let me know about Israel and how, the effect of the inspiration of the United States, the intervention of the United States of Israel is really something that I need to know about. And I don't even, honestly, Michael, I don't even care. I just like drinking beer in America.
Well, God bless you, man. Enjoy that beer.
Is that really wrong? Is that really wrong?
Dude, no.
All
that matters is enjoying your life, okay? And it sounds like you are doing that. And
I'm a white person. I live in America. I drink beer, and I just can't seem to get out of my garage because you watch television, and it's just you know what? You're a fucking bad person. Look at your white face and all of your white privilege, and you don't even have any teeth. And all of your goddamn white privilege has caused you to have no teeth because all you've been doing is sucking on candy bars and shit. And the reason why you're thin now is because you're doing crack. But I don't even like candy bars. I'm not doing any crack. And I'm like, holy shit. I don't even know what I've done wrong.
You haven't done anything wrong, man. You're enjoying your life. Just enjoy your life. I mean, there's no reason. Look, there isn't anything wrong. If you're enjoying your life, then that's all, and you're not hurting anybody else. That's all that matters. Just go and enjoy your life, dude. I mean, and don't let somebody else tell you that you're doing it wrong or you need to be worried about Israel or anything else. If you're actually enjoying yourself, then just go ahead and be in that moment and make it last as long as you can.
Okay, so Michael, we should go into all these school systems and we should just literally set the children down in the bleachers and we should tell them, if you really use contraceptives, you may not be a fucking statistic.
Okay. You mean like underage pregnancy or something?
Well, I'm just saying, now we're diving into somewhere it's deep. We're diving deep. We're swimming around, and then we're talking about this whole other topic in the world. that nobody wants to talk about and everybody gets angry about. And they're like sitting there, oh, like, oh my God, this shit's getting good right now. Okay, but you know what? Only 10 people are listening to it or something. I don't know. And so, like,
seriously,
why is it that this is such a hard debate? Oh, okay, no, I don't understand now being on the spot in a sense, like how to engage this conversation of like the words between pro-choice and then pro-life. Okay.
Again, this is just something that's being used to.
Can I say something to you? Can I tell you a story that I did today that's like really crazy? I took my cat that I had for 2 years and I dropped him off in an alley. Michael.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
It's your cat, man. I have no feelings about your cat whatsoever.
Well, I understand, but I think that you owned a cat once in your life.
No, I've never owned a cat.
You never owned a cat, so you're not like a cat person?
I'm a freedom person, dude. Look, you need to do what you need to do.
Okay, so I'm going to use that as an example. I took my cat and I dropped it off in an alley.
Okay.
Today.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
It's your cat. Okay? You could have chopped him up and stir-fried him, and I really don't have anything to say about it. Okay? It's just like your pro-life, argument thing. Okay? It's not up to me. It's not up to you. Okay? The parents are going to have to make the decision for themselves, and they're the only ones who can.
Well, the reason why I dropped him off in the alley is because I didn't want to take him to the Humane Society, and I felt like that if I took him here, and I thought about it for a long time, and I've called the Humane Society, and they were told me if you relinquish this animal to them, then you will not be able to come back and get it. I mean, it's just...
Why are you giving up your cat if you think you might want to go back and get it?
Well, I mean, like, you thought that, hey, can you just hold on to him for like a week and see if some real family other than us that is just not fortunate enough to take care of this cat, that they see a future in this cat? Is that possible? Can we put him there? It's like an adoption thing or something. I don't know. I don't want to get into that. I'm stupid. And so we go back into like you were saying, like, and I do not think that you were telling me that I have this pro-life argument, but the reason why I took the cat and I dropped him off in the alley is because I did the research, and he is a man, and he's overfed. He's like 2 years old. He's like a cat on steroids. This motherfucker is kicking everybody's ass, and we're like, you know what? We need to go like take him and drop him off right there in the freedom of the wilderness, where there is an amazing amount of cats.
And I don't think a domestic cat is really looking forward to the wilderness.
Kind of a pro-choice and a pro-life thing.
Which again, I said that's your cat, and you have to decide what you think is best. Okay, and so I'm not. It's not up to me. It doesn't matter what I think.
To the fucking Humane Society, Mike.
Well, that's good. That's the decision. That was your choice. That's good. You made a choice. Whatever. I don't want to talk about your cat, man. All right. Thanks a bunch for calling. So anyways, and I hope that guy's doing okay, because I know if I had to make some kind of decision where, you know, a family member was to be dropped off in an alley and say, you know, you can do it. I don't think that I would be as happy as he, you know, said that he is, because I would be very, very concerned about my family member that I just dropped off in an alley. But that's just me. And that's probably why I wouldn't have a cat. Probably why I don't have a dog. I just take care of my roommate's dog, you know, because I don't want, you know, the responsibility of another being. I don't want to be, and I don't know why I'm talking about this now. We're supposed to be talking about Donald Trump putting his thumb on the scale of the Israeli elections. Okay. And this is the thing about this, is that, you know, all these members of Congress, all these politicians are constantly, oh, we care about Israel so much. We care about Israel so much. And they're so upset that Russia was meddling in our elections by making Facebook posts. Oh, Russia's making Facebook posts. We can't have Russians making Facebook posts. Oh, my God. People might get confused about what is really happening. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is like, yes, you must reelect Netanyahu. It doesn't matter if the police want to put him in prison. You must reelect Netanyahu. And it seems like all these people who say that they care about Israel so much and are so concerned about Russia meddling in our election, that they would be very concerned about someone else meddling in the Israeli election. To me, it seems like, you know, that would be a very big concern to them. I would think that there's a lot of Israelis who hate the fact that Donald Trump is meddling in their election. I would think. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Hello.
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 Goodbye, caller. All right. So, as I was saying, the Israeli election, politicians being so concerned about Russians meddling in our election in 2016, which is, whether or not it's true, regardless if it's true. I mean, I have videos posted saying it's not the Russians. Okay? I have that. I've been doing this for years, talking about this. Okay? But all these politicians are so concerned about Russia meddling in election, and they're so concerned about Israel every second of every fucking day. Every single politician in the United States is so majorly concerned about Israel. Don't you know? I mean, we've heard it again and again. So why wouldn't they? Why is no one at all speaking out about Donald Trump meddling in Israel's election? That's what I want to know. You know, if they care about Israel so much, I'm absolutely certain there are people over in Israel just pulling their fucking hair out with this Golan Heights thing, because it's just this like, here you go, Netanyahu, here's your election, buddy. You know, here's your election. Yeah, the police want to arrest you, but you know what? You got the Golan Heights on your side, so fuck the police. Right, Donald Trump? I guess Donald Trump doesn't love the Israeli police so much. Hello, caller.
Hey there. This Mike?
This is Mike. Who is this?
This is Zach.
Hey, Zach. Nice to hear from you, bro.
Nice to hear from you. Just tuned into the show, trying to catch up onto the conversation. I understand you're trying to talk about Donald Trump putting his thumb on the scale for the Israeli elections, but you're also mentioning
Russian collusion, Russian, trying to meddle into our elections.
I only bring that up because it would seem like it was such a giant concern of these people who again and again tell us how much they love Israel. And you would think that if they're so concerned about Russians colluding in our election, that they would be just as concerned about someone messing with Israel's election.
Okay, right. So you're trying to say that it's hypocritical on their side because there's a double standard on that. That if you're going to wave your arms, forgive me, is it okay if we swear on your show?
Yeah, you go right ahead, man. It's a Freedom Channel.
Okay, perfect. I like the sound of that. So you got the people that are waving their hands, like you was saying about, oh man, Russian collusion, but they don't seem to give a shit about like Donald Trump putting his thumb on the scale for Yahoo of all people.
Yeah, right. I mean, do you see it that way too? Because that's what I see happening with this. All of a sudden, all of a sudden we need to make this proclamation about the Golan Heights, right before the Israeli election. That's pretty blatant to me.
Yeah. And I mean, it would seem that that's a bit of, if you look at with Donald Trump's position on trying to do that, and also with the Vice President Mike Pence, it's a bit of a, tip of the hat to more of your Christian-based group of voters. That's what they seem to want. They want that attention on Israel.
Yeah, the evangelicals I hear love like the attention on Israel. They just want, I don't know, they see the end of the world starting, like the end of the world, like meaning Jesus coming back, and it having to start with a big old war in Israel or something like that. That's the way I understand the evangelical brain to think.
That's, we're both on the same page with that. And they're still to this very day screaming that. But if you were to ask me, I probably would have joined that group during World War II. I would imagine that would have been the end of the fucking world, was then. Drop the damn nuke.
Yeah, right.
I would have been on top of that. But like in today's time, let's be honest. What day does it not seem like when you watch the news that the world's not about to explode?
Climate change is going to kill us all.
Right. It's just another day of just outrage, and we're all going to die.
The dollar's going to collapse, and we're all going to be standing in bread lines.
Right. And with the Cold War and all that kind of stuff, in my opinion, it would seem, and forgive me, I don't want to seem like an ass or something like that, but I'm sure
it's okay.
During the Cold War.
You go ahead and you seem like an ass all you want, buddy.
Okay.
I remember the duck and cover shit. It was just bullshit. It's just this lie. We could be vaporized in 30 minutes. In 30 minutes time, you could be nothing but ash laying on the floor underneath your desk. And what does that do to a little kid? And you see the little kids today, and they're doing the same thing with these shooting drills in schools, right? The littlest kids now have to go through shooting drills in case there's a shooter that comes to blow your fucking head off in school. Which is just what a fucking 8-year-old needs to know. That a shooter might come in and fucking blow his head off in the middle of school when he's trying to fucking not think about, whatever it is, a daydream thing that an 8-year-old's going to think about.
I don't even know if I understood the concept of death at 8. So I don't know what good that's going to do for them.
Yeah.
You're at that early age.
It's just fear. It's fear. Be afraid. Be afraid. And you see it in the young people now. They're like, oh, guns. We got to get rid of all the guns. We got to get rid of all the guns. And it's like that's just a load of bullshit. We don't. Number one, you're never going to get rid of all the guns. And we're in the middle of a fucking war on terror. The terrorists are coming to get us. Don't any of you people listen? We need our fucking guns, and there's fucking danger everywhere.
With terrorism, I'm not 100% sure on that basis. When was the last terrorist attack in the United States? Only one I can recall was 9/11.
Well, then there was, There was the Boston Marathon bombing, and right after 9/11, there was the anthrax attack, which I was talking about Mueller the other day, and I left out the anthrax attacks, and that was a really big thing that happened right after 9/11. That the FBI was just like, we don't know. And it took them years to solve, and then they fucking pin it on this guy and suicided him. It just fucking bullshit, 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 you know? And it's like there's nothing, there's no government left to believe in it all. That's why I keep saying burn it to the ground and we'll just start over, you know? So you have to recognize both sides as the enemy, because there isn't one side that's on our side. I keep saying I stand with the people who fight for freedom. Which side is that again? You know, because I can't remember.
Yeah, I 100% agree on that. I mean, we're more drawn apart from each other. Now, arguably, some people like to say that we are the most divided than we have ever been. But I think, now call me crazy, we did have a civil war at one point. So I'm not sure if we have ever been, if this is the point that we've ever been more divided.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying totally. I think, but I think that honestly, I think that that people really are buying into the politics of division, and they really see, you know, oh, that's, you know, those guys voted for them, and I fucking hate that guy, and so I hate them too, you know, and that's and that's why everybody's walking around all road ragey instead of, like, you know. It's like they're just waiting for something, man. They're just waiting for someone to knock that chip off their shoulder so they can just unleash on that motherfucker, you know?
Right. And the only way now for me, like say, like me and you walked met at the bar, the only way that I would be able to identify you, and the only way I could know you as a person, is if I knew who you voted in the last election. Oh, you're a Trump supporter? Well, fuck you. That's what we've come to.
It really is looking a lot like that. And this way, every one of these live shows keeps coming back to, you know, it's not the Republicans, it's not the Democrats. They've worked together hand in hand to bring us to where we are right now. It's both of them. They're, you know, you either have the chance to vote for turd sandwich or fucking giant douche. You know, and no one wants a fucking turd sandwich, so it's obvious, you know, that we voted for giant douche, you know, and you have to look at it that way, so you can't, that guy's a fucking giant douche. We all know this, you know, but nobody wants a turd sandwich, so it makes sense that people voted for the giant douche. It's easy to understand in that language, as opposed to Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, and fucking hate Hillary Clinton, I fucking hate Donald Trump, and there's just no, you know, I mean, it's like they're all the same. They're all part of that same group. It's just, you know, they work together to fuck up our lives and enrich themselves endlessly.
Yeah, and it would also appear like you hear people complain all the time about politicians. It's the politicians' fault. We can't trust them. We can't believe them. It's their fault. They do this. But I mean, like you were saying, you only have two choices: shit sandwich or a giant douche. If we don't have people running that do not have the money to be able to run,
right?
And we're in such a class divide where the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And what's the middle class again? What the fuck is that anymore? That doesn't even exist.
It seems like it's not there no more. I mean, I know it is, but it seems like it's clinging to life. You know what I mean? And yeah. But that could be just this whole fear thing again, too, where, you know, the dollar's going to drop and then we're all fucked. And, you know, because I've been hearing that since 9/11. Since 9/11, it's like, oh, you got to buy gold because the dollar's going to fucking, you know, go to shit and we're all going to fucking be in bread lines. And it's just, you know, fear, instead of, you know what, all these people are our enemy. You know, the people keep seeing each other. They break down into these groups, every little fucking group that they can break you down into, and then you're one of those. So I can't fucking trust you. I can't reach out to you. I have no good feelings or intentions towards you whatsoever. you know, because you're one of them. And there's nothing to that. That adds nothing to your life. It gives you nothing except for anger. It allows the programmers to get away with murder, because that's all programming, that we're divided somehow and that we're different from each other. And of course we're not the same, but we're all, you know, we're all one, man. We're all Americans. We have more in common than we do that's different by 1,000 times. And we got to focus more on that and recognize who the real enemy is. And that's the turd sandwich and the giant douche, not one or the other. They're both the fucking enemy. Go ahead.
And I mean, not just that. Let's also, I mean, there's so many factors on this. I mean, with social media, I mean, I think you would agree to this too, that the generations that we were born in, I mean, I still remember as a kid not having internet.
Yeah. And I used to go outside to play, huh?
Exactly. You go outside, and when the street lights come on, your ass better be in the house. That's what childhood was. And then now all of a sudden a computer and then the internet, and it's so insane to me, this concept that we have the internet and we are more connected to everybody around the world and have nearly an unlimited abundance of information at our hands.
Right.
But we still do not know how to communicate with the person in front of us, that we would rather stare at this device and not talk to people, just like what we're doing right now. Now, that we might have views that we disagree on, but we're talking, we're having a conversation. Let's find a common ground here. Let's build off of each other. That's not anymore.
Yeah,
that's not society anymore.
That's what I'm saying, is we have more in common than we do that separates us by far, by 1,000 times. And it seems like all we focus on is the things that we're going to argue about. And that being online only makes that worse. Because we don't look at the other person and see a human being. We just see some fucking troll who's trolling us, and we can troll them better than they ever fucking trolled us. You know? And it's just... Yeah. It's not who we are. And you're right, people don't look up off their phones. I mean, I walk every day. It was like 74 degrees and, you know, not a cloud in the sky 2 days ago here in Seattle. And I walk around and there's nobody out. I walk down to the park, beautiful, beautiful day, and there's nobody there. And I can't figure out what the fuck is going on. I don't know if the parents are afraid to send their kids out to the park, or, you know, because of the fear, and, you know, there's the predators are everywhere, and somebody's going to sell them heroin, you know.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if it's they're afraid to send them out to the park, or if it's just the kids going, no, I just want to play video games, Mom. You know.
I mean, both.
Yeah.
I mean, parents are becoming far more scared for their children, and then
everyone's becoming far more scared of everything.
Yeah, exactly. And it seems to be fear is the biggest thing. If I could name this generation right here, it'd be the generation of fear.
I always call them the bored generation, because it's like you're saying, how they have how they have everything at their fingertips, like every piece of knowledge, every great work of art, you know, every music, every food recipe right at their fingertips. And you look at them and they'll tell you again and again how they're bored, you know. It's hard to figure out.
It almost seems with, I fear what the future generations are going to become like, because all this information is right in front of them. They're bored. Is it going to come to a point in their life to where one day they can just wake up in the morning, stare at their phone, stare at their iPad, stare at the TV, go throughout their day doing whatever it is they do, work on a computer, work on their tablet, work on their phone, and then once they lay their little head on bed, they can just think to themselves and say, huh, I didn't have a thought today. And then they go back to sleep and repeat.
Yeah, I don't think that they don't have thoughts. I just think that but you're right. They seem very tranced out, you know, like they're just going. But that's not something new, you know. I mean, from for a long time, people have, you know, driven home and they can't remember how they drove, the route that they took. You know, they can't because it's such an automatic, a robotic thing to get behind the wheel of the car and just drive wherever. I know where I'm going on. You know, it's just automatic. You know, and now with the phone, they're constantly, you know, being like. You know, like my roommate is an amazing driver. He's even like been a professional driver for many years. And now if we go anywhere, he has to put on the GPS and he has to tell him where to turn in 100 yards. And he knows all this shit. He grew up in this neighborhood and yet he still has to do that. And it's mind boggling to me.
Yeah, that blows my mind. I'm a truck driver myself. And I mean, I drive up there to New Jersey and down to North Carolina down to Florida, and I don't even have a GPS except what's on my phone. Yeah. I can't even use that for a semi. So my father has driven for over 40 years as a professional driver, and it still to this day blows my mind. I can tell him, listen, I'm over here in Asheville, and I need to get over to Bartsdale, California. And he would tell me every single interstate, state road, and little road I might need to turn to get to where I need to be, because he knew exactly where everything was. Right on. He doesn't even know how to work a GPS.
So, so let me ask you a question. You're a professional driver, is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, I hear that in like 10 years, it's all going to be autonomous driving, and there's not going to be, like going to be like 10 million jobs lost because you know, the cars and trucks are all going to drive themselves in 10 years. Do you think, is that something that worries you, or?
10 years is way too short of a time span, but yeah, we all know that it's coming. We already have the system. Like my truck that I have right now, it's a 2019 Volvo. Right on. And it already has the radar guidance system on the bumper to keep me away from the vehicle that's in front of me. It'll slow itself down. It'll slam on the brakes if necessary. Yeah. It will alert me if there's something in front of me. It'll lane control and all that mess. And they've had this in these trucks since like 2011 is when they first started installing them. Yeah. And all they have been doing is collecting that information, collecting that data as to how drivers are driving, and how is the system reacting to how drivers are driving, and what information is it collecting, so that way they can put it together and build the system to where it will be autonomous. Now, the issues with autonomy, it is a great system, but in 10 years' time, you're still going to have autonomous trucks that can drive themselves, but only on interstates. Huh. There's no way that you can have an autonomous vehicle go on the state roads
because of the height and stuff.
Well, if they would be able to set it in to link with a GPS system to know what routes it can take, that will begin to be the later steps in that. But with conditions and you would have to have all the vehicles on the highway autonomous before you remove the pilot off of the truck.
Yeah, I think the pilots are going to have to be around for a long time after the autonomous driving takes over, too.
Right, because it cannot predict human actions. Yeah. It's not going to know when that dude's texting on his phone and he drifts into your lane. He can't predict that. Right. So that 10 years is a little too soon. From what I understand, in about 2021 was the last time I checked, they will have the first autonomous trucks ready to go. And they are going to be tested on, I do know the Florida Turnpike is the highways that they're going to be mainly tested on. It's very flat, very simple, straightforward.
Yeah, route. Right. I know about Florida, sure.
Yeah, and it's a perfect route for you.
Yeah,
but
that makes a lot of sense.
Taking that sumbitch over the Rocky Mountains, I do not want to be the dude who is letting it do it himself.
No, I hear you.
That man's hard.
Yeah, especially if snow and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to know about black ice and conditions and stuff. I don't know.
Right on.
And that's going to be another thing too with autonomy vehicles is trusting a system to for you to get to where you need to be. I mean, yes, planes have autopilot and they take you from point A to point B, and they're getting to the point to where they can pretty much damn well just land themselves, no problem.
Yeah.
But who the hell wants to be in a plane with no pilot?
Yeah.
And just say, let's let the computer just decide where we're going today.
Right. I understand that. I hear they're testing like autonomous helicopters in Dubai right now for, like a cab kind of thing, like an Uber. And I just keep thinking, man, who the hell wants to jump on that and just who has the faith that, I mean, this is a flawless system and we don't need to worry. We're just going to go ahead and go for it. That's really odd. Yeah.
The balls on that dude that gets him to that to test it. I mean, I guarantee you the first guy that does it's going to have a parachute.
Yeah.
Just in case.
On the whole plane. That's the way you got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
right on.
And a lot of drivers are saying, professional drivers are saying that they don't want to have autonomous vehicles. So, of course, it's going to put over 11 million people out of work when it becomes fully automated and they don't need truck drivers.
Yeah.
But you don't need a truck driver if you have the system to do it. That's the entire point of technology is to, innovate. I mean, who wants to go work in a factory and putting a lug nut at a time when you can have a computer do it? It's better for the companies and it's better for the people. Just like saying people who are complaining about illegal immigrants working in the fields are taking American jobs. Find me a goddamn American that wants to go out to a field at 111 degrees outside and pick cherry tomatoes. I sure as shit don't.
No. That would be the last thing that I would ever want to do. I mean, so is there what's the weather like where you're at today?
Well, right now we are in Raphine, Virginia. We are a low of 47 degrees, partly cloudy and windy. And
you own that Volvo?
I sure do, yeah. Owner operator.
Right on. That is awesome. That sounds like a really nice ride, man. I bet it's got a sleeper.
Oh, yeah. I'm laying in the bed right now, chatting with you, having a nice conversation. I'm parked. I'm done for the day.
Right on.
So I'm just on YouTube, and there was your channel. I'm just like, well, let's check that out.
Oh, so you're not a regular Mox News viewer?
I just got on. I just scrolled on to this, started watching the live feed a little bit, listened to the last caller, and I was like, what's going on with this?
Well, be sure and I know that last caller. But be sure and subscribe because I post stuff every day, and we're doing a live show 4 or 5 nights a week. So it's really good to hear from you, and we'd love to hear back from you anytime.
Yeah, definitely. It was good talking to you, Mike. You take care.
All right. Thanks a bunch, bro. And there's again, this is what I'm saying about Mox News viewers is that I've always said that they're intelligent people, and this guy is a brand new Mox News viewer, right? And he's obviously an intelligent person, and the reason is because you come to Mox News seeking knowledge. You see, news, that's something I'm interested, or I'm looking for this story, and look, lo and behold, Mox News has, here's all the APAC videos from today. Hey, that's what I was looking for. But that's just what we do. I mean, that's what I've done for 15 years on the YouTube, and I never put up any advertising at the beginning of the videos. It's all commercial free. So I'm not taking 15 seconds out of your life. And 9,000 times. There's 9,200 videos on this one Mox News channel, and over the 15 years of doing this, I have posted more than 65,000 videos, and I'm going to get back to reposting. I have like 50,000 videos to repost right now, and I'm going to start doing that here because it seems like the channel is pretty solid at this point. And I'd like to add a whole bunch of that old archive material that I have set aside on hard drives and CDs and stuff. So I'll be working on that for the next, well, you can expect to start seeing that being mixed into the mix, daily mix on a regular basis here coming soon. So anyone else want to call? Anybody else want to talk about anything? I thought that it was important to, find out what people think about this, because it's not so much important to find out what you guys think, is that I wanted to point out that, it seems odd to me that these people who again and again and again, the politicians we hear talk about how much they love Israel, and then how concerned they are about the Russians meddling in our elections. And then clearly, blatantly, Donald Trump is meddling in the Israeli election beyond a shadow of a doubt. He could have waited 3 weeks. The Israeli election, I think, is the first or second week of April. He could have waited 3 weeks and then said, oh, and we're going to recognize that, Israel is a proud owner of the Golan Heights. He could have waited 3 weeks, but he did not. And the only reason is to meddle in the Israeli election. And as I said, I'm sure that there are Israelis over there that are just pulling their hair out, going, who the fuck does this guy think he is, meddling in our election? Because it's not right. In my own personal opinion, what Donald Trump is doing is far, far worse than what the Democrats say the Russians did in the 2016 election, which they say, oh, they posted Facebook ads. That should be a freedom of speech thing that anyone is allowed to do. Oh, they did stuff on Twitter. Donald Trump is standing with the loudest microphone in the world and going, here is a big blotch of land that I say Netanyahu now owns. It's blatant, it's disgusting, and it just really bothers me that the Democrats who are like hair on fire, Russians meddling in our elections, oh, we love Israel so much. Well, we don't care about who meddles in the Israeli elections. It's fine because, Netanyahu needs that support, or I don't know what, the Democrats only care about Israel, the current president, who's like a criminal, war criminal. I don't get it. If they care about meddling in elections and they care about Israel, then this should be a really big thing to them, but they don't say a word, right? So, and this is why I say that it's the Republicans and the Democrats working together to sell your children's futures down the road. It's not one side or the other. It's them working hand in hand to bring us to this moment where we're at right now. Invasion on the south border, endless wars of choice, NSA spying on every single text message your 15-year-old daughter sends, even the ones she doesn't send, every Facebook message, and yet they can't find some guy who's a fucking, a hater, beyond hater, who's broadcasting messages of hate, and I'm going to go kill all these people. Oh, we can't find that guy, but we sure got this 15-year-old girl's naked pictures. Yeah, that's our government. That's the United States government, and it's the Republicans working with the Democrats to bring us to this moment right here. Endless wars based on choice, infrastructure crumbling, your children's schools, drinking water filled with lead. Republicans and Democrats working hand in hand every step of the way. And if you think one side is better than the other, you're drinking Kool-Aid by the gulp, by the gallon, by the pitcherful. Okay, they are exactly the just opposite sides of the same exact coin. The same exact endless wars of choice based on lies to fucking gut our treasure so that we can war profiteer for generations to come off of more money than you and your children and your children's children. So they'll never have anything nice. This is why we can never have anything nice. Because you think it's one side or the other side is better. And they're not. They're exactly the fucking same. So please, figure that out. Understand. Mox News fights for you. Stand with the side that fights for freedom. Mox News fights for freedom. You guys know this. It's been shown to you again and again, day in, day out, for 15 fucking years. Stand with the side that fights for freedom. You want to tell me, is that the Republicans? Is that the Democrats? No, it's neither one of them. Stand with the side that fights for freedom. Your freedom. That's this guy. That's Mox News, okay? Mox News survives solely on contributions from good people like you. There are clickable links in the text body of this video or right below the video. You will find links to PayPal. You'll find links to Patreon. You'll find links to GoFundMe. And all of those should take less than 2 minutes to make a contribution to Mox News. I never take 15 seconds out of your life at the beginning of the videos. I never say, oh, you won't miss this 15 seconds, to the tune of 9,200 videos. If I did that on this one Mox News page, you all would lose weeks and weeks of your life. Okay? I don't do that. I survive solely on contributions from good people like you who appreciate someone who works tirelessly to try and create this never-ending stream of bits of knowledge for you, for your neighbor, for the world. Not for the liberals, not for the conservatives, for the world, for those who believe and fight for freedom. Because that's what really matters. That's the one thing that we can all rally around, is freedom. I believe in your freedom. I believe in you. That's the reason I believe and fight for your freedom, because I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of what you might do with your freedom. I want you to have as much of it as possible so that you can go and do something amazing. That's why God wants you to be free. The only people who don't want you to be free are the Democrats and Republicans who make 42,000 fucking rules every fucking day, every fucking year, so that you are over-criminalized. The average law-abiding citizen in the United States breaks 16 federal laws a day, just living his life, not going out of his way. That's the average person. Federal laws, felonies. That's the over-criminalization of humans, of Americans. And it was done by Republicans and by Democrats, working together hand in hand to sell you down the river. And you must recognize that so that we can move beyond and make something good happen together. So that we can move beyond and fight together for freedom. So that we can, maybe your children can one day have the paradise that we were given in the first place. Because there's no reason that this world, that there needs to be hungry people or people with no shoes or any of this crap in the world, except for rich people. The only reason the next generation won't have Puget Sound orcas is because it would cost some rich fucking piece of shit too much money. That's the only reason. Okay? And the politicians defend them, and the police defend them. That's why Donald Trump loves the police so much, because without them, without the police, Donald Trump would have been chopped up into little tiny pieces and sauteed long ago by the people who he ripped off. But since he's rich, the police protect him. So we love the police so much. So he can get away with his crimes. That's what the police are for, to protect the rich so they can get away with their crimes. And when the people come to hold them accountable, the police stand in the way. That's what the police are for. We all know this if you look at it realistically. I'm getting distracted now. I'm supposed to be talking about the election in Israel. Anyways, I guess we're done talking. There's no oh, that's got hair on it. Let me see where's that. I hate it when that happens. All right. So there's no callers. So if there's no callers, it's not much of a call-in show. So I'm gonna go ahead and smoke this, and then I'm out of here. I love doing what I do, primarily because I am good at it. Because I know that if I didn't do what I do, there would be things that would not get the attention that they deserve. And there would be people who would not be as informed as they are. And one day those people may make a big difference in the world. One of the intelligent people that I keep talking about, who come to Mox News seeking knowledge, may actually one day be the one that saves us. As I've said again and again, it's you guys who are going to save the world. You have to be the ones to save the world, because if it's not you, then who's going to do it? You're going to leave it for the kids, right? So it has to be you guys. If it's not you, there is nobody. So, and that's the way that I feel about you. You guys can say whatever you want about me. I've been taking it since I was 5 years old. Okay. I'm used to getting beat up on. It is no thing for me. So it's so weird when people start calling me names and making fun of my appearance or the way I talk. I've been getting that since I was 5 years old. If you think somehow it's going to affect me now, from some keyboard cowboy, that's just mind-blowing. I don't understand how you could be so naive. That tastes good. All right, so I guess we're done here. I just want to say thanks very much for tuning in. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. I hope you're finding something of value here. I truly do. Remember, it's not the Democrats. It's not the Republicans. It's both of them who have brought us to this moment. Okay? And they worked hand in hand to make it happen. If it was not both of them, we would see one as a clear alternative. And it's not. There isn't a clear alternative. And they use these little things to divide you. This pro-life, this gun control, these things are just like, oh, that side's, pro-life and that side, anti-guns. And no. That's just some mind fuck thing that they're doing to you to try and get you to believe that they're different, that they're against each other, but they're not. They're working hand in hand to do everything in their power to take away every little tiny bit of freedom that they possibly can from you, because your freedom is a threat to them. The more free you are, the more likely you are to take them down, because you are free to say what you want. You're free to gather together. This is why they keep us apart. This is why they make these petty little, oh, I'm a Second Amendment person. Oh, I'm a, it's, and I don't think that that's petty. I think that Second Amendment is extremely important. I said in this video that, I'm a big Second Amendment supporter, but don't let them use it to divide us. This is the freedom. We have to recognize freedom as being the one thing that really matters to us. And if freedom matters to you, and that person is saying, my Second Amendment is really important to me, then you listen and you say, you know what? I don't want to take away that person's freedom. I want to protect it because that person's not a criminal. That is a law-abiding citizen. That's my neighbor. I've known that person for 30 years. And if they want to have a gun, I am not threatened by that in the slightest. Or that guy moved in a year ago. You know what? I go and meet my neighbors like in the first couple of weeks of them living. I take them cookies. I'm like, only eat one because, they're snickerdoodles, the kind that make you snicker. I know the people who live around me. I'm not afraid of them. I don't have the fear. And if you just walk around, if you get to know your people, if you believe in freedom, okay, and you find out that you don't have to be afraid of your neighbor and you believe in freedom, we can actually make an amazing thing together. We can make an amazing world together. But the only way is to find something that we all believe in. And we all don't believe in this faith, and we all don't believe in that faith, and we all don't believe in, but we all know that freedom affects every single one of us and is important to every single one of us. And I think that's the one thing that we can really enjoy, that we can really rather rally around together. So don't walk around road ragey. Don't worry about next month. It's going to take care of itself. Don't worry about stuff. Just, find a way to reach out to your neighbor. Find a way to say hi. How's it going? I just wanted to, give you a friendly smile. Because that makes the world a better place. That's what I do. I walk around my neighborhood and I smile and I wave at everybody because that's the neighborhood I want to live in, where people wave at each other and smile and say, hey, how's it going? Beautiful day, huh? I say that a lot. Anyways, thanks very much for tuning in. My name's Mike. Mox News survives solely on contribution from good people like yourself. There's clickable links below this video where it's easy to make a donation at moxnews.com. Please, if you can, it would be awesome if you could kick down for lunch. I like lunch. Okay? Stay cool. Wednesday is this war is going to end. Till that day.